What's up, everyone? Welcome. Spilled a little bit of water just before the live stream. 1 second. Happens. Ooh, okay. Welcome, everyone. Good to have you here. It's Sunday, which means altcoin live stream. Make sure to vote if you haven't. So, and if you have not yet been at an altcoin live stream before, first of all, welcome. Second, make sure to vote. The link is here. And based on the votes, we'll follow the list, maybe do a few randoms. And generally, we do a lot of alts in one live stream. I guess like 10 on average. So yeah, we should be doing good today as well. Stream generally takes around an hour, maybe a bit longer, but we're going to start analyzing Bitcoin just shortly, only local. I don't really have a lot to say because nothing really changed. And I'll just show you what I'm looking at and the probabilities, and then we jump into the alt. So I give you a little bit more time to vote as well. Chris, Sunday's scam pump, or is this time different? What happened? I think on Saturday night. What happened Saturday? Oh yeah, so Saturday night we had this wick here to the downside, and yeah, price moving up, but I'll get to the probabilities soon. Thunderin, welcome. Sibel, good to have you here. TP, Pumperoon, there's volume. Why should it be a scam? Hamza, welcome. Hamza, thanks again for your email earlier this week. So Hamza got in touch with me. He lives in the Belgium or the Netherlands. I don't know. Like, you speak Dutch, so it's either or. But he got in touch with me as he actually wanted to go to a show here in Nice. He booked it already in February. Wanted to go, but unfortunately he was not able to go anymore because of his work. He already checked in with friends, family, and eventually wrote me and said, yo, like, you're living in Nice. If you're interested, I got 2 tickets. And he didn't even say in the email, like, I can just give you and just enjoy the show. Like, doesn't need anything for it. But of course, I told Hamza that we're happy to take over the tickets if no one else wants them, or it's the end of November. The show, it's the show of Hans Zimmer. If no one, like, if between now and the show, other people maybe he knows want it, that's fine. But yeah, we will obviously pay them in full, Hamza. Right, so thanks for thinking of me and my wife as well, because we do listen to Hans Zimmer music as well, and my wife is a bit of a fan, let's say. So the fact that he comes to Nice and you had tickets and we can go is really cool. We actually had no idea he was going to be here. Only figured it out because of your email. So thanks for thinking about us and giving us the opportunity to go. And of course, unfortunate that your work got in the way. I mean, that's the worst. You booked tickets in Feb, and then 9 months later you can't go because of work. Like, holy shit, like that's just stupid. From work, of course. But yeah, thanks for thinking about us, Hamza. Very kind of you. Yeah, he is. And we like his song. So yeah, Hamza got in touch with me. He's like, yo, I know you live in Nice. The show is in Nice. It's the 30th of November. Do you want to go? I have tickets. I can just send them over, and there you go. So he did. And yeah, And then obviously we pay Hamza, by the way, just saying that, not like, yo, freebies for everyone. No. All respect. So we'll see. It's going to be a good night. Going to be an interesting night. Jeffrey, welcome. Rodney, all JR. Good to have you here. To my TA, it's lower high to take the liquidity 67.4. 60. Oh, this one to 68.3. Then continue the downtrend as per higher time frame. Good. Don't see it that high, but maybe wrong. Checo Perez out next year. I won't be surprised. I mean, yeah, imagine he's out after this race. Now, I'll guess he drives till the end of the season, but very bad performance during quali yesterday. So yeah, I don't see him driving there next year. It's now 2 years in a row that his season is absolutely rubbish. Christian, welcome. JP, how you doing? Belgium it is. Brian, can you give us a quick recap? Yeah, I will. Make sure to vote, everyone, for the alts. You should quit. Yeah, exactly, TP. Exactly. Tell him. Okay. Make sure to vote for your alts here. I'll give you a few minutes. And you say Perez is fine and Red Bull is a mess. Max Verstappen is on P2. Just saying. Look, Red Bull internally might be a mess, but there is no excuse for the performance of Perez. Anyone that has a different opinion, I'm happy at your opinion, but I guess most of the world disagrees. Anyway, let's start with Bitcoin. Championship leader Max Verstappen in Red Bull. So, anyway, I want to do local. So we're going to go and talk about alts. We're going to do a lot of alts as well. Locally, price moved to the downside. So remember what we said last week is this move to the upside has a higher probability of being corrective. Of course, we have a 3-wave move to the downside as well, right? So as long as we do not at least form a bigger diagonal, meaning we need to at least work on our wave 4, the probabilities are higher to take out, this high. Only if you have a wave 4. So if we take this low, come back up and start moving down, and especially if we take this low again, that is when we have to consider a diagonal and then also, of course, continuation down. However, as we mentioned last week, this move up, higher probability it is corrective. We had a WXY on the chart, ABC, correction ABC. Very nice, hit the common target area as well. So that's what we like to see. And because this move up has a higher probability of being corrective, it increases the probabilities to take out this low. So therefore we had scenarios where price takes out this low, which is what we have over here, right? And yeah, you can move up and take out the high, but the probability remains higher to take out the low. Now, price moved down nicely after the finished WXY, moved towards the downside and hit the 886. And the 886 is taken from the low to the high. All right, so the 886 is touched. The fact the 886 is touched increases the probabilities that this is indeed corrective, another wave 1 for then an impulse 2 and continuation up in 3. So the fact that the 886 is touched, the move here, higher probability it's corrective, increases probability still to take out the low. Now, before this weekend started, my last update was somewhere here, right? Probabilities were higher to take out this low, right? And as long as we don't have a diagonal, we at a later stage are still looking for price to take that high. Or at some stage, doesn't even matter if it happens sooner or later, but at some stage you would expect to see it taken unless you get a bigger diagonal, which we don't have at the moment. So it's too early. Yeah, we hit the 886, corrective move up, increases probabilities to take the low. As a bare minimum, you expect price to continue ranging sideways in case you go into triangles and whatnot. However, this being a triangle for an A, B, C, D, E, not looking at this wave B here is complex in a WXY, which is rare. Most common is wave C to be your complex structure. If not C, then your D, and if not D, then maybe your B, but it's very uncommon. So the fact you have a higher probability WXY here, complex structure, decreases probabilities for this to be a triangle. And therefore you have to look for other structures. Now I don't really like to go in detail in what's happening here. The move to the upside was quite nice. We clearly have a three-wave structure to the downside as well. So continuation sideways during the weekend. I mean, as expected, no, weekend generally is a sideways ranging structure. Yeah, a little bit of a move up, but it's still very much sideways. So yeah, probabilities higher on the chart to still see this low taken, and as a bare minimum, sideways price action. So yeah, that's it on Bitcoin. There's not really much more to say. Of course, I can go zoom out to the daily, but at the moment it's not really relevant. On a daily time frame, by the way, we are preferably looking for a bigger retracement to the downside as well. So yeah. Anyone agreeing that Perez is not good must be an Elliott wave trader. No one is saying that Perez is not good. We are all saying that Perez has an absolute shit season while Max Verstappen is becoming world champion at the end of this year. Same last year. So anyone disagreeing that Perez is having a great season and it's only Red Bull that's messing things up must be a very shitty Elliott wave trader. Mari Nieuwhout, greetings from beautiful South Africa. I was there last week. Welcome, Mari. Good to have you here. ASMR, yeah. Hazimmer shows will come to Belgium again as well. Oh, okay, I see. I don't know, then you can go. Yeah. Of course, if you go to Nice, it's a little holiday together with the show. I mean, it would be nice, but yeah, you won't miss out. Hans Zimmer will come. Next week, US elections. Interesting. I think it's the 5th, no? 5th of November. Brian, pleasure. So, and Ned, welcome again. Great to have you part of the gold team, Ned. And let me also send you the link to fill in the form again. So, of course, I know you have filled in the form in the past. Wait, maybe I can just go to... Let me quickly do this. Because we will get you sorted after the live stream. Also, Ned, hopefully everything worked out with regards to the scam that you were involved in, or like the problem you had in the past. Oh, I don't see you in the list. So yeah, let me send you this. Membership. Ned, if you would please fill in this form, then we can get you sorted like today. So I'll bump you up to gold later. But welcome. Good to have you here, Ned. And yeah, I'm interested to hear how things went. Make sure you can write me in DM if you want to, instead of public. But I hope everything worked out in your favor. Iota. Okay, let me add this. So make sure to vote, because the voting will be done very soon, and then we're gonna go through everything. I just want to add. I'm gonna add it at the bottom. I can't add it in the middle as well. So I'll just do this. Save changes. Aerodrome. One has to vote. I don't think Aerodrome would be in the vote though. But if you want me to add it, I'll add it. Maybe I'll just add it. That wave your start of a triangle. I don't really know what you mean, TP. The upper wave 4 trend line. Oh, you mean the downwards trend line. And if you look at the price action since price, yeah, just watch out with triangles. The problem with the triangle pattern is that the moment price shows signs of a triangle, people say, oh, it's a triangle. However, triangles are actually not that common. So make sure to watch my triangle videos in the educational playlist on my YouTube channel. But the moment that you have, like the moment you see people, you know, if you have this price section, you get people shouting triangle. First of all, it's too early. Second, it's just not the highest probability scenario. You need to know the rules of a triangle, because triangles have many fake outs. So at this moment in time, your higher probability is going to be either a flat structure or a sideways WXY, or even maybe a sharp WXY, right? And the moment you then move down and you move back up, so then your arguably A, B, C is finished, at this moment in time, you're still going to be looking for either a flat or WXY. Only when your D is in and you move down, with this being a confirmed three-wave structure, can we really look into the triangle scenarios. And of course you want 4 out of 5 waves simple zigzag, 1 wave complex. If it's 1 wave that is complex, then preferably C, not D, not B, not A, not E. And ideally volume decreasing, but that's not a must, but it's definitely a sign of a triangle, would increase the probabilities. So I'm not looking at the moment at any local triangles here. Yeah. Is Axelar in the vote? I don't know. You'd have to check the vote. Just Control F, because there's so many alts in the list that I don't know what's in, and I've had over the months many people coming with new alts, and I just add them to the list, but I don't know the list out of my head. So make sure to Control F and then let me know. Welcome, Matthias, other side of Earth. Yeah, welcome, man. Good to have you here. Can this move up be an ABC? I'm not interested in counting this, to be honest. The probabilities are higher to take the low. As a bare minimum, go sideways. So looking down. Even if price would locally move and climb further to the upside, I'm still looking for down. Even if price would take out the high now over here, I'm still looking for price to take out this low. I'm then going to move to flats. But not a flat, because this being a WXY, a flat is unlikely. 3-wave A, B, C. So it's more likely you're going to move into a WXY or a diagonal. So at the moment, therefore, your probabilities would be higher for this high to remain the high. And for price to take out this low first, either in a WXY fashion, or you're going to be looking for a diagonal, of course. But in both cases, you would take the high, the low first. Yeah. Let's start. Yeah, let's start. Okay, let's get this going. I agree. Results. Show the results. So make sure to vote if you haven't. I will refresh the vote now and then. Okay, there we go. It does not work, or mentioning alts in chat, or requesting alts in chat doesn't work. It has to go through the voting, as we are with a big group of people. I don't know how many people are watching now. About 100. That's normal for the alt streams. It's always a little less than the Bitcoin stream. So let's just get through the list. Most of the ones that we see in here are ones that are on my stream quite often, so it won't take a lot of time analyzing them. So let's start with Adam. Usport, by the way, Obelix, welcome. Good to have you two here. Your message was retraced, Usport, but good to have you here, man. Sorry, what was it? Ada. Okay, so let's get started. We of course always look at the higher time frame. Okay, and let's have a look. So confluences. So on Cardano, not too much actually has changed, but look. We are at support, right? We hit support, this very clear support resistance area on the chart. The problem is that for Cardano to, in my opinion, really turn bullish, you want this level to be taken here, right? Clear horizontal support resistance area. I can even extend it further. So you can see 44 to 46. You want to move to 47, close candles above, and then, of course, retest continuation. That's very attractive. That's very attractive. Now, this is not Elliott waves, but also simple TA. So that is a flip, support resistance flip that would definitely trigger interest, right, for upside. Now, locally, your bullish scenario would be an impulse in a wave 1. You want a wave 2 to finish at this low, and then continuation up in a wave 3, meaning you want to actually have like a 1, 2, 1, 2, maybe a few more, but then you want to explode to the upside. Taking out this low here would be a little bit problematic because the 886 is close, and the 886 for a wave 2 is very rare, never preferred unless every other scenario fails. So you don't really want price to hit the 0.25 level, right? Now, if we go to the lower time frame, the daily, then what you see here, whoops, let me just turn this scenario off. What you see here is the move to the downside. Now, if we are very bearish, we want an impulsive structure to the downside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? A bigger impulse move down. Now, at the moment, you see that this structure down has the highest amount of volume. This move to the downside looks very 3-wavy, not 5-wavy, right? Now, if this is an impulsive structure to the downside, we have to look at something like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave structure, right? But that would mean that your wave 1 low and your wave 4 high overlap in price action, meaning you need to think about diagonals. And your diagonal is then going to be this. Now, if we then have a look, then what you see is that your wave 4 is bigger than your wave 2, which means the diagonal is an expanding diagonal. But an expanding diagonal is very rare, never preferred unless everything else fails. So counting this move to the downside as a diagonal doesn't have great probability. So the only alternative we then really have would be an impulse, where you then have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then this needs to be like a 3-wave structure of some sort. And then you have another like 1, 2, and you want a continuation down pretty much. So that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correction. Let me do a quick check here, just for the sake of, if we take it from that pivot, we didn't hit the 618, so wave 4 is not invalidated. Now, if this would be corrective, you're definitely looking for some sort of a WXY, and that's mainly because of what you see here. If this would be a flat and then a wave A, B, you need a wave C that's very quick. We didn't get that. C needs to be a 5-wave structure as well. And you would at least need to take this high once more. Also, if you want to create a diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a wave 5. So in other words, you'd be looking for price to take out this high, even in a bearish scenario, and in a WXY, flat X and wave Y could be a flat zigzag or triangle. Triangle doesn't work. A, B, C. C took the high over here. That's not allowed. Counting this in A is also not allowed because A becomes complex, or at least is very low probabilities, because this is then a 3-wave WXY. A flat here, of course, doesn't work because we haven't taken the low again or went low enough. And a simple zigzag, well, in that case, we would need to finish there. So WXY doesn't look likely. Your most bearish scenario would interestingly be take out the high and then continue to dump to the downside to then count this as a wave 1, 2, and then a 3 down. Now, if we do count this as a 1, 2, we take a fib from the high to the low here. We toggle on wave 2 targets or B, and then we have the 382 that is touched. Right, so your most bearish scenario would be A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3. It's the same result. You're going to continue down. This is your bearish scenario, just covering. We hit the 382, which is a minimum target for a wave B. Fine for B, very rare for 2. So as long as you don't really move up here, it's very uncommon for 2. If you don't move to the 05786, probabilities are high. If you do move down, it's an A, B, C, and you expect a movement back up later, but you're going to take this low though, very likely. So yeah, at the moment here on Cardano, more locally, probabilities would be higher to, at a bare minimum, take out the high, local high, right on the daily here, which is 42. And this move to the downside, like this being an impulsive structure, right? You would again need a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you have your wave 5. It looks very 3-ish. And then this is your 5. You would need to do this. 4 is okay. That's also fine. And then you need a 5, 3, 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, most bearish scenario would be for price to still take out that high, really. Take a fib time. 1 second, I'm checking. If 5 is here, wait. Okay, 0.5, that's okay. No overlap. From the start. Yeah, so if this here is the end of your wave 5, and this is like A, B, and you're looking for a C diagonal, it's even going to be an expanding diagonal, which is already very rare. You also now passed the 2 fib time, which basically means that if a wave C would be longer than twice the length of A plus B, it significantly reduces probabilities. So it's not looking good as a flat ABC, not at all. Neither the WXY. So if we want to make this bearish, you would need to have this as a corrective structure, and then look for another 1, 2 basically. In that case, your 2 so far is 3 times longer than your 1. Which is no problem, but this being a 1, 2, as mentioned earlier, this 2 only hit the 0.382 Fibonacci, which is not common for 2, only for a B. But if this here would be a B, then a C, preferably, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back up, which is in the end still bullish, actually. So the 382 touched, not a common target for 2, and time wise it would be very short, right? Very short if that's a completed 2. Yeah, low probabilities for this to be impulsive to the downside. You know, this being a finished 2, this is your 1, that's bullshit. This being a 1 and then a WXY, no zigzag, no flat, no triangle. If this is an A, B, C, you need to take the high, but C is already twice the length of A plus B. So yeah, it's not looking great for like an bearish impulsive structure. Higher probabilities, this is corrective, which does increase the probabilities on a weekly time frame to look for higher prices still to come and price to take out this high at a later stage. But what I like to see is signs of strength. Yeah, I play the, I want to have an edge in the market, right? I play the probabilities, and I like to see signs of strength. And at the moment, market structure is down. This is a very important support resistance level on the chart, right? It has been support for a very long time, came back, resistance, made a new low, broke it, support, moved up, came back down, support, broke it, resistance, and change. So it's such a big level on this chart. If you can flip this into support, I mean, next area of resistance really 114, 118 would be very interesting. So that would be at least some sort of a sign of strength. So yeah. I prefer being, better be safe than sorry. I'm not someone that needs to snipe the high or the low. I prefer to be safe. So, and at the moment, I don't feel like that's that's the case here. I'm not feeling safe. Also, this move to the upside here, if we do zoom in on the daily, by the way, 3, this is always corrective. We took the high. I'm actually curious. How high did... yeah, not great probabilities for this to be a flat. So higher probabilities 3 makes it a bit difficult for bulls having 3 wavy structures to the upside on a daily time frame here. This looks very 3. Whoa, very close to hitting the 886 there. That's a level you do not want to hit as a bull. 786 respected, that's fine. But this being a 3-wave structure, another 3-wave structure. Look, what the bulls want to see is an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave structure, which we don't see. A diagonal, which is then not yet completed, but also if this would be a diagonal, it becomes an expanding diagonal. Let me have a look here. Did we hit it? No, we didn't hit this. We did hit that, yeah. So would be an expanding diagonal, but an expanding diagonal is very rare and never preferred unless everything else fails. And then you have a multi-1-2 that's left, but a multi-1-2 would be impulse correction, impulse correction. So the fact you have a 3-wave up, another 3-wave up is not actually really bullish. So more reason to wait and be very, very patient with Cardano. Did we hit support? Yes. Are we currently still on top of support? Yes. But man, you want to see this flip, Joe, like 0.47. So to summarize Cardano, there is can we count this as a 5-waver? There's that possibility. It's just that your wave 2 price action is really messed up. You either have a very, very short 2 or B, and then an A, B, and then you need a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in C, but then your B is so incredibly short, it doesn't make sense. It looks better as a corrective structure, but then you would still look for price to move up and take 0.81. The problem is if this is your low and you want price to move up, you need bullish structures, and so far everything is 3-wavy, which increases the probabilities to actually take the low. So it just adds to what I said is Cardano here, right? Let the chart show you it wants to move, no? This is your support resistance area. Change the market structure. Taking out this high, by the way, also immediately invalidates the potential of A, B, C, right? Taking out this high increases probabilities for continuation to the upside as well. Because one second here, keep that in mind. I'm just checking. Yeah. Because if this would be this would be a 5, and then all of this needs to be corrective, right? If you want to be 5, 3, 5, if you do take out this high, right, then this needs to be one corrective structure, which at the moment, as explained earlier, we can't count this A, B, C in a flat. This being a WXY is also not looking great. So take this high, increases probabilities for the bulls. But of course, you're also then at an area of interest where, hey, if you flip this level, things start to become interesting, right? So, yeah, interesting price action. Interesting price action. So, yeah. That's basically it on Cardano. I don't really have a lot to say. Local structures here is very 3-wavy, which is not bullish. The move down, however, doesn't look like a great impulse, right? You can count this as a double zigzag as well, even a triple. But I'd be very patient with Cardano. The 3-wavy structures of the low here are not really considered bullish. No, it's not a great. For me, Cardano here is not a great coin at the moment. It's not interesting. Okay, Solana got some votes now, so let's have a look. Oh, I actually forgot to write down the timestamps. Oh, maybe a Band-Aid. Yo, what's up, man? Thanks for the gift. John Booten. John Booten. Please fill in the form and we're going to get you sorted, man. So you just got gifted by Maybe a Band-Aid. Thanks, Maybe a Band-Aid. That's very kind of you, man. Appreciate that. Another one. Where are the trading profits going? Oh, well, yeah, I know this guy online called Koens, Thanks, man. Yeah, John, I'll bump you up to silver, or we will. So here we are on Solana. And on Solana, nothing changed. Actually, so that is nice. It still has a great structure. We are on top of support. This is the white box here, right? 126 to 78, but 100 is the point of control. Always interesting. And below that, you still have 56.9, but that's of course very deep. Like Bitcoin would need to go very low for that to be hit. Now let's start with the bearish scenario, which is, that's the daily. Where's my weekly stuff? Yeah, so here, lower probability because your wave C is very extended. So this would be a zigzag A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a wave C. Your wave 4 is shorter in time than your wave 2, which already lowers probabilities. You can take a fixed time from the start of 2 to the end of 2 to the end of your 3. Toggle on the 1-to-1. You can see this correction is shorter in time. Also, if you take a fib time from the start to the end of A to the end of your B, and toggle on the wave C targets, the 1.618, generally a maximum target for C. If you pass the 1.618, probabilities increase. You're looking at a wave 3. The 1.618 here is passed, so therefore probability is higher. You're looking at a wave 3. Even if I do this and I select this low here to move B here, it's still passed. So therefore the probabilities are higher for the bulls, which is this scenario, where you're still looking for price to take out this high at 210. Very likely, right? You're going to still hit all-time highs. Also because we hit the 886 from the all-time high to the low. And over here, 886 is touched many times by now. So it increases the probabilities to still take out all-time high at a later stage. Now for the bulls, this is your most bullish scenario where you then have a 1-2-1-2. This is your white 3-4-5-4-5. So you get 2 more pushes to the upside. Now your arguably more bearish scenario is that your blue 3 is already in. And in the blue 3, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Which means, by the way, your 4, of course, is shorter than your 2 in time. So that's the same as the ABC, right? So your bearish scenario, ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? This is 4, this is 2, 4 is shorter. But the extension of wave C being so long, right? That's what impacts the probabilities the most in your wave C, because C went beyond the 1.618, right? And that starts to increase probabilities for wave 3s. Now your more quote-unquote bearish scenario would be then to look for your 4 in blue, and then 1 more push to the upside in your blue 5. And after that one, like that is done, then you look for price to move down and correct. So in both of these cases, of course, you're looking for price to still move up and at least take the high at 210, likely take all-time high. Then it's price discovery. If you do take all-time high, price discovery is very easy from an Elliott wave point of view, because the moment you move into price discovery, you just wait for a range to form, because the range will give you all the information. This like this is not interesting. Just up, 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 up. The moment you get a range again, that's where you can analyze the chart, which means that when a range starts, you always need to take you got to be willing to, how can I say this correctly? Like, you want to wait for a range to form, which means that if you're in longs or whatever, no financial advice, but you got to be able to take this hit, right? The move to the downside. So price goes up, 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 up. You got to wait for a range to form, but a range can only form if you first move down. So you got to be able to take that hit, wait for the move up, and then based on these two structures, you already have more information. Do I have to get out? Can I stay in? But if you move into all-time highs, price discovery, you just got to wait for that bigger range to form. And if you don't get any significant range, you just look for price to move up. So yeah. Now a target here in white, 247,317, interesting, higher probability target, and then in yellow, 315,623. Blue is too hypothetical, not really too interesting. I mean, you can see it, but it's so big. So yeah, that's Solana really. So yeah, make sure to vote if you want to see anything. Link is in the vote. So we did Solana Doge. Doge. Do we get the dog? We don't. We don't get Doge on the screen this time. Okay. Why do we need to take the 886 low? Yes, we touched 8, but this could be a flat on the WXY side. Yeah, but then you still expect that low to be taken, even if you... Oh, wait, I see what you mean. WX and then Y. Okay, let me explain later. It's because your Y is very short in time. Okay, let me quickly go here. So this is your W, this is your Y, right? Just finished after the 382. Now that means that your move down, right? If you want to count this a flat, this has to be your wave C. Okay. So then in that case, oops, we then need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but then what's this? So we need to count this as a 5-wave move, which means that because of this range here, or mainly this one, you would need a double 1, 2 of some sort, but we can't count 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, you know what I mean? So this move down now, because price took this low, increases the probabilities that this is a corrective structure, not a 3-wave or not a 5-wave impulsive structure. If this would be a flat ABC in a wave Y to finish the correction, right, then this had to be a 5-wave structure. So knowing that in combination with this higher probability corrective, price touching the 886 on a daily time frame, we preferably still look for lower prices as well. I'm personally still looking for price to move down. Yeah. Okay, Doge. Good afternoon, Bladu. For this 886 for me is more interesting because of the 5-wave move being a 3-wavy structure, not a clear 5-wave structure. talking about a crash. I mean, you always have people talking about 1 million per Bitcoin and 10K per Bitcoin. I very much focus on my own analysis. I'll actually recommend as well, as much as I'm a content creator, to watch as little stuff online as possible, because it's gonna mess with your head. Many people online shout X and the other shout Y, and this one has this magic indicator and the other one has this, and you basically get an analysis paralysis because of looking at so many people. So I would either recommend to limit the amount of people, right? And second, focus on your own analysis the most. What's up, Yocosta? Welcome. Make sure to vote. CDMs, welcome. Congress by the pool extended. Oh, that's nice. By the pool. I like a pool. That's nice. Maybe a band-aid. Okay. So, Dogecoin. Where are we? First, some traditional tier again. We hit, by the way, support here, which was was it the point of control of this range? I don't know. I removed it from my chart. The only support below still is at 007. And we are currently at this interesting SR flip. So what we don't see on Cardano is what we now see on Dogecoin is hitting this support resistance area, and that's the area you want to flip. We also touched this, so we can remove this from the chart. Arguably, there's a new weekly down here at 0.11. But this is interesting. This is an interesting level, 0.14 to 0.15 pretty much. So let's see. We haven't closed anything above it, and very unlikely for this week to close above this level. But this is interesting to look at nonetheless. Okay, so then we have what's this? Okay, let's see. Support areas down. Cool. Okay. So on Dogecoin, your bullish scenario, of course, is an impulsive structure. So we then have a finished 3-wave corrective move, and then we look for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correction, and you want to see continuation to the upside. Now we can definitely count a 5-wavy structure to the upside, but what is more interesting is looking at the move to the downside. If the move down is corrective, you know, probabilities increase to at least go sideways for a longer period of time / take out that high. So as Doge has been ranging, also in previous live streams, what we have been looking for is a bounce to the upside, exactly because of what I just explained. At a bare minimum, you want to see the range continue, which therefore means you move to the upside. Also because of the count that then comes into play. In a bearish scenario, this has to be counted as a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave structure, right? Now, if this is a 5-wave structure to the downside, it means that you have overlap between your wave 4 and one of the lows, at least, of your wave 1, which means we then need to think about diagonals. So you then have your 1, 2, because wave 2 can only be zigzag family structure, so this can't be the low of 1 in a diagonal, by the way. So then this is your 1, this is your 2, then you need 3, 4, 5. Now let's have a look if this works. Your wave 4 is smaller than your wave 2 in price. That is what you like to see. Your wave 4, however, touches this channel, which is not what you want to see, because that means it is an expanding diagonal. Right? This now becomes an expanding diagonal, which is very rare, never preferred unless everything else fails. And let's see, wave 3 is shorter. Wave 5 is also shorter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3. Yeah, you hit it. So yeah, and a expanding diagonal is very rare, never preferred, unless everything else fails, really. So increases probabilities for corrective structures to the downside. Now, as price made the low, I think the last time we analyzed this chart, I'm not sure if we had this move up already, but as a bare minimum, you're looking for the 382 to be touched. Most commonly is a retracement in a 05786. Even in a more bearish scenario, you're looking for price to move up and hit those levels. We are now, of course, between the 05, the golden pocket. Almost hit the golden pocket. Would like to see it hit. It actually doesn't really happen often that you get this close to a golden pocket but not touch it. So yeah, interesting indeed. We can have a look at the local structure to the downside here in a second, because that will give us more of a clue as well. There's definitely potential for an impulse. 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5, right? There's potential there, at least seeing this this later structure to the upside to still take out the high and hit the golden pocket. Just having a look here. I'm just checking. So using a channel is very efficient to spot contracting or expanding diagonals, because of course you use the trend lines and you take a trend line from the end of your 2 to the end of your 4, and then from the end of your wave 1, right, to the end of your 3. And based on these trend lines, which is what you see with the channel as well, is that you have an expanding structure. The trend lines are expanding to one another, which is not what we want to see. Even though your wave 4 is shorter than your wave 2 in price, which is what you like to see, 3 is shorter than 1, 5 is shorter than 3, it's still expanding. So it must have to do with the time, 2 longer in time than a shorter 4. You know, if 4 would have taken a bit longer, nah, yeah, it doesn't matter. No, you can't count this as a diagonal. Contracting and expanding is very rare, so it immediately increases probabilities. This is corrective, which increases probabilities on the weekly to still take out the high at 0.23. Okay. Okay, so that's so we done that, and now locally. I'm not sure if this is, so on the weekly time frame it looks nice, but the chart on the 1 hour is not great here. Binance. Let me check if there's something else that's more clear. Is this the one I'm... Okay, this looks a bit better. Not as gappy. I just want to check, did we hit the... Yeah, we hit the 886 here as well. And we also hit the 886 here. That also, it does increase probabilities to take out that high. If this would be bearish, you have overlap 1 2 3 4 5, meaning a diagonal again. but the diagonal here surely is expanding. So higher probabilities that this move down is corrective. Increasing the probabilities, you're still looking for price to take out this high, getting closer to the golden pocket. And of course, we know on a higher time frame, on the weekly, we are now against that resistance level that we want to flip. Right? You want to flip it. You can move above that step one, preferably test as support again. That would be nice. So get above, test as support, and then break the structure. Come down, retest, break the structure. Up, retest. Whoop, question mark. Nice question mark, Koen. So yeah, on Cardano, Dogecoin here, probability is higher. This is corrective. Probability is higher to take the high, and locally probability is higher to take that high as well. So, okay. Got to keep up the pace, SUI. Oh, there we go. Nice. Probabilities played out on SUI. I haven't seen this chart for a little while, also because I was on holiday. Yo, what's up, Cheese? How you doing? Admin, welcome. Good to have you here as well. What's up, guys? 102.30 for SUI. So price, this is a fun story. If you would go through the live streams in the altcoin playlist, and you go back in time and you look at, in the title, I write the alt, so you will find SUI. First time, second time, third time that we analyzed the chart. And you can kind of see the story. And it's nice to see that we took that high. So that was also the higher probability scenario. And then we hit the 886, increases probabilities to also take the high. So we can now remove this from the chart. What was this here? Oh, this was support. Daily was touched, and off we went. And that's a solid move as well. Huh? No, pretty good. So in a couple of weeks, what Bitcoin did since the 15K low is what SUI basically did now. So yeah, here the probabilities this move down was higher for it to be corrective. A zigzag family structure. Price hit support here. And we don't want to take this low because of the 886. Quite similarly, we also had this support resistance area, right? So you immediately move up, resistance, resistance, move down, resistance, close above, retest, change the structure. Bloop. But by all means, mainly because of the move down, probabilities were higher to take out all-time high because probability is higher. This is corrective, and this was actually quite nice. 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. So okay, here we are now. Yeah, your bearish scenario becomes a flat A, B, and then a wave C to take out the low. But that would mean that if you take out this low, you're going to hit the 886. Very rare for a wave 2. So probabilities increase to take out this low. But at the moment, that is not the highest probability scenario. Volume moving up as well as prices moving to the upside. So the probabilities would be higher to start looking for wave 4s in this case, meaning you then look for 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more high at least in a 5. Now, in that case, you take a fib from the low to the current high on the chart, wave 4 targets, 0.236 to the 0.5 with the 618 being an invalidation. That's pretty big. There we go. So this is just your standard impulsive count. If price takes out the high and volume increases, you're going to be looking for this wave 3 to go up. So this becomes 1 2 1 2, and then you have your 3 4 5 4 5. So in other words, more bullish. But you got to wait for the volume. Let's zoom in a little bit as well. So this is your target area, right? Just checking the time of your wave 2 here with any of the ranges. Most commonly, wave 4 is longer in time, but you can see price moved up, 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 and at no moment in time did we actually create a range long enough that ends after the 1-to-1. So most commonly is a wave 4 is longer in time compared to wave 2. Now, if this is your 2, you basically wait for a wave 4. Oh wait, we can actually use channels. I made a channel video recently. And I think it is a very useful video for many out there. So that is this one here, educational content, how to channel. Thanks everyone, almost 1K views in 2 days. That's amazing. But yeah, that's a video I made. So what we can do is put a base channel on the chart here. We hit the low. Oh wait, start of 1 to the end of 2 to the end of 1. What you're looking for is a wave 3 to preferably break this base channel. This is a very sharp move to the upside. Now we're currently at the lower end here of the base channel, so there's definitely something to say about 1-2-1-2 continuation, because you don't really, first of all, you want a wave 3 to preferably break out of the base channel. 1, 2, but we didn't. 1 second here. So we cannot count this as a WXY because W can only be simple, being a zigzag or a flat. This is not a... If this is... Did we take that high? No. Oh. Did we hit the 618? Yes, we did. So the probabilities are higher that this is complex, not a simple ABC, but more WXY or WXYXZ, which is not allowed in a W. So we can't label this WXY. Your most bearish scenario would be counting this as an ABC running flat. You don't want to see the low taken. Running flats are very rare. If you take this low, you're probably going to take that low as well, because it's too deep for a wave 2. 886 touched. It's not what you want to see. Your alternative is going to be a triangle, A, B, C, D, E, but a triangle is not allowed in a wave 2. So again, looking for a wave 4 does have higher probabilities with the potential of a more bullish double 1-2 here, right? And then we have trend channel, which basically is looking the same now as almost like the base channel. This would be a trend channel. So we're still inside the trend channel. What you wanna see here is in this trend channel, you want price to break the lower trend line to increase probabilities of a 4, which we haven't done yet. So your bullish scenario here is looking for a wave 4. The alternative would be double 1-2, but because of the second push up being quite a bit longer than your first one. So this is your 1, this is your 3. A double 1-2 doesn't make too much sense here. Yeah, it's definitely longer. So a double 1-2 doesn't really make sense. Your bearish scenario would be an ABC. Let's see, zigzag. Oh. Yeah, volume, price move up, up, up. Volume move to the downside as well. This is the most common target here for a wave C in a zigzag A, B, C. So that is fine. But if we count a zigzag to the upside, the problem is we don't have many scenarios for that, because we took all-time high. So probabilities were higher. I gotta repeat this for myself. This was higher probability corrective, probability is higher to take the high. Price now took the high. Bearish scenarios, this is a 3-wave structure. But price took the high, which means you only have 3 scenarios left. That's a WXY, ABC flat, or a triangle within a running triangle with B moving above A. Now, in a running triangle, you look for A, B, C, D, E. Problem is, not allowed in a wave 2. Another problem is that the probabilities are higher that this is a complex structure, not a simple structure, meaning a double zigzag or a triple zigzag. If this was a single simple zigzag, you need to count this as a 5, somehow another 3, and then, of course, another 5 to the downside. Where this then is 5, A, B, C, D, E, that then needs to be a triangle, and then you need a 5 wave down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but then 4 is too high, so that doesn't really work. This is a very big 4 compared to any of these very small 2s here, so your 4 retrace is so high, it doesn't make sense. So probabilities are higher, it's a double zigzag or triple zigzag, so therefore a triangle doesn't really work because you don't want to see that in a wave A. Alternatively, is a flat A, B, C. That's perfectly fine, but then you want to see a running flat, not an expanding flat or regular flat, because the target for expanding or regular is taking this low. And that is not a low you want to see taken, because then you hit the 886 at 0.445, taken from the low to the high of 1, which is a very rare target for 2. More common for corrective structures. If you would hit this level, probabilities increase to take the low, and instead all-time lows. But that is not really relevant just yet. You would need impulsive structures down to begin with. And then you have WXY, but you can't have a complex structure in W. So a triangle and a WXY sideways drop because of the higher probability complex nature here, which leaves a flat. So a flat is your bearish scenario. In other words, now we can put it on the chart if no, it doesn't, everyone knows or let me put it on the chart. Not everyone knows what a flat is, of course. Many Elliott wavers will know, but not everyone that is watching is an Elliott wave analyst. So of course, got to be aware and explain. So we hit the 105. 105 is a less common target for an expanding flat. Target would be the low. Common target for a regular flat. Target the low. Also target for a running flat. A, B, C, and then move up. C has to be a 5-wave structure. So from this high, you need a 5-wave move down to begin with. Okay. We always need a bearish scenario on the chart, running flat. So this would be your target for a running flat between the 618 and the 1. There we go. And your bullish scenario, and then, I mean, this is not really relevant anymore. I'll just keep it for the fun and giggles. This one for, okay. Then we go to the daily time frame. I need to go lower, 4-hour time frame, 1 hour. This looks better as a 3-wave structure, no? It's mainly this move up here, which is very difficult to explain for a bearish impulsive structure. If you want to count this as a 1, 2, 3, yeah, then you still need a 4 and a 5, really. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but then you have this in the middle. So that looks corrective, not impulsive. Unless you start talking about diagonals, but that would be just no. that's just weird. Would also be an expanding diagonal, which is very rare and never preferred unless everything else fails. So it looks better as a corrective move down. Checking. I mean, if this would be... So first of all, this has a higher probability of being corrective, being a three-wave structure, which increases probabilities to take the high. But now I'm looking here as well, just in case. Yeah. Now, if you want to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5, you again have overlap, which means a bigger diagonal. And this is important for the higher time frame. Your 5 is longer than your 3, which is not allowed in a contracting diagonal. Right? So this move down is longer than this. So we can't count a diagonal here. So your most bearish scenario is then a multi 1-2, where this has to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. But then your last one is longer in price than your second one. Shorter in time. Shorter in time. So your most bearish is a triple 1-2, but and then you would expect, of course, a waterfall. So it's more safe if we change market structure. This is like your probabilities versus actually trading. Is you have bearish market structure. The first move down has a higher probability of being corrective, not impulsive. Expanding diagonals are very rare. Price is moving down. Your most bearish scenario, of course, is looking for a multi 1-2. And what is going to change that is changing structure. So that would be a confirmation of this being corrective, is changing structure. You won't be sniping the low, but you will have the probabilities on your side. This is 3 times longer than 1. This is almost 1-to-1, I guess. What are we doing here? So if this is another corrective structure, correcting a move down, preferably you end it after the, after the 382, and this high is made before. So you preferably just continue this range minimum / taking out the high in a bearish scenario. Now that being said, it is interesting to look for signs of support now, or areas of support. So let's put some stuff on the chart. So this was a daily, which is now flipped to resistance. Right? Oh, nice. Yeah, this is your previous high. So if you want to change structure, you basically flip the resistance, support, resistance level as well. Anyway, we hit this daily. We have another one here, and then we're basically down again. On top of the point of control. Okay. Sorry that I'm quiet, by the way. Always happens when I'm just focused on analyzing the chart. I'll get to chat in a second. So yeah, with SUI, right? Price moved up impulsively. So your bullish scenario is an impulse, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the first thing that you'll be looking for. Invalidation is 155. Your alternative is going to be a double 1, 2, where your invalidation is taking this low, but it's not relevant because you first need to invalidate a wave 4. So this would be your primary. Also, volume moved up. And then a double 1, 2, this second one is longer than your first one. So it's not really what you like to see. Including the volume, it looks better as an impulse in a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So your primary would be an impulse to the upside, with your alternative being a flat structure, which then has to be a running flat. And a running flat is very rare, never preferred unless everything else fails. So it adds probabilities to an impulse to the upside on the weekly, looking for a 4 and a 5. Now, locally, preferably you see market structure changing and the correction, oh wait, let me drag this in up. And your correction is also preferably taking longer than your wave 2. So you take a fib time from the start to the end of 2 to the high on the chart. Can there be a flat here? Let me quickly check this. If that's, this one, no. Yes, but then the low should be in, but that's on the 2. Not great probabilities for this to be 3 and then a flat and a 4. It's better if 3 is here. Check, double check. So the target for a flat there is hit. Can this be a... no, okay. So if this would be 3, A, B, C, and then a 5-wave structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I think we identified that if this has to be a 5, it has to be a diagonal because of overlap. But the diagonal can't work, we said, right? Because your 5 is longer than your 3. That was it. Yeah, exactly. So, okay, cool. So A, B, C, flat. No, we don't like that. So therefore, we got to put 3 on top. This is your 4, which then means we put this on top of the 3. And then we have our 1. So preferably, we continue in 4 till at least the 3rd of November, which is another week. And then finish for sometime after. So in other words, you preferably just continue ranging here for a longer time, and then you move up again, which also helps because you also preferably, of course, like to see the market structure change just to invalidate a double 1-2 or multi 1-2 for the potential, at least, of a running flat where you have a wave C down and then move up. And then this is, of course, what you have. I'd put that in there, and then this, and then this. This is what you would be looking for in a C. So now you have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. C finished up. So my fibs are always on log scale. It's my standard. So it's true, Chilicha. Yes, you want to use the fibs on log if you use log scale. Yeah, so that's SUI at the moment. Right? Higher probabilities to look for a 4. With the alternative being running flat is not great. So yeah, this would be your primary. Still look for higher. L, there we go. Chatting. Not late, you're here, admin, you're here. Jeez, what's up again? Yo, Gwendy Zoo, how you doing? And how's your girlfriend? Because I remember, like, back in the day when you were here, you were spending more time on streams than with your girlfriend, no? So hopefully you two are good. Hope the sun is shining in the south. It's a gray day today, though. Gray day. The sun is shining on the other side of the clouds, though. Obelix, what's up? Jeffrey Stone Cipher, welcome. Pleasure, I guess. Pleasure. Common target for double 1-2. That's still the normal target for a wave 2. So that's the 0.5 to the 786 Obelix. Looks like ETH has bottomed very close. Yeah, we'll have ETH coming up. Michael, welcome. Do you expect a new low in the Atom? You make sure to vote. My opinion. Yeah, so I'll check the vote. Maybe sometimes, like at the very end of the stream, when I start to get very tired, I tend to just have a look at some. So we could have a look. But I first want to do the voted ones. Yeah. Samsung United, welcome. Can you add coin payments to the page for membership? That way, crypto. Yeah. So I can't add that to YouTube because YouTube has its own system. But with my own website that is gonna start development, we will include such an option. And for the CVD, because some people want to just pay for CVD. We have a free option, but they wanted to pay. That's kind. We use now payments, which is something that Jeroen set up. So it's going to be it's pretty much ready, going online soon. Yeah. So but yeah, this is like a plugin that uses crypto as well will come. But then my website needs to be online. We're only starting development soon. Answer this question. Hook would be make sure to. You probably can't vote. Yeah. So other like personal requests, I do the voting. That's why we have a vote, because if I start doing a lot of personal requests, it's going to be very messy. But usually at the very end of the live stream, I might do a few and then head off. Chilicha, if I look, for example, at an obvious wave 2, such as the .com crash in NASDAQ, if I pull the Fib retrace from the start to the end of wave 1, wave 2 doesn't even reach the 05. The .com crash on the NASDAQ, on the NASDAQ. Chilicha, I'm not sure what time frame, but on the high time frames, for example, on the monthly on Bitcoin, if you go to the monthly chart on Bitcoin, right, and you pull fibs, you'll see that very often you do not respect the common fib targets, because it's just such a high time frame. It doesn't really work. It's better to look local instead of on the very high time frames. So on Bitcoin, your first ever bear market retraced to the 0.236. Well, I mean, that's very rare for two. The second bear market hit the 382. The third bear market, which was the most recent one, went to the 0.5. So it's getting a bit deeper. Of course, your most bullish count is a 1112 on Bitcoin. It's just that on such high time frames, the retracements do not always follow like, oh, that's common, that's rare. And also the 382 for a wave 2 is still a target. So it doesn't have to hit the 05. You can hit the 382 and just move away from and start a wave 3, right? So the 382 is uncommon for a wave 2, but it's still a target. The 886 is very rare for a wave 2. The 382 is more common than a 886. If you follow Elliott Wave International, they say the most common is the golden pocket, and then on position 2 you have the 05 and then the 382. Yeah, but crypto, a bit more volatile. The 786 is a good target. So the 05 786 is most common, but the 382 is still a target. Yeah. God, I'm interested now. .com was 2008, no? Oh boy. Yeah, monthly fibs with monthly charts 2008. Wait, you mean this low? Just very quick. But this low went deep. So you hit the golden pocket. Wait, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure how. But this is the .com, right? Oh wait. No, I have no idea what I'm doing. 2001, 2000. Lol. This was the financial crash. The .com bubble was at the beginning. I don't have that information, unfortunately, so I can't look at it. But yeah, I mean, I kind of gave the explanation, I suppose, of what I... yeah. So structure is more important than any fibs, any fib time. But it like the fibs help you to identify probabilities for structures. 2, 4, right? 3, 5, 1. Yeah, wave 2 can hit the 382, but on very high time frames, again, it just like on Bitcoin, you can't really do too much with fibs. Yeah, it's better locally. Cheers, Christian. Welcome, Mohib. How are you doing? Playing channels on the chart. Good that you're practicing. I like to hear it. It's great to use channels. on log scale. Yeah, so my chart was on log, but I can't go back to 2001 on my chart. I need to move up, which I don't have there. It's before the time that my chart starts. So I think you can check SPX. We went from, luckily I put, oh wait, where am I typing? Luckily I put timestamps in my videos afterwards. I just want to answer this question. Yeah. But this is the problem. The problem is, right? By the way, how do you count this? Is this a wave 2? Wait, I don't get it. The .com crash. This is. Am I too high now? Near will we? Yeah, near. We'll probably do near we're just trying to answer this question on stream. I actually thought it, like, I don't see a problem here. Like, so if you pull, so first of all, I wouldn't really count this as a, yeah, I mean, so here's another thing. You can't really use volume on super high time frames, because the volume also just represents more like just a growing market. It's not just, oh, it's super bullish because it's very impulsive, or it's just more and more people learn about it and slowly start investing, playing around, and it's just like market is growing. On higher time frames, weekly, monthly, yearly, it is more often to have the highest amount of volume in a wave 5, as per Elliott Wave International, because of the general knowledge increasing about the industry as price, or the market as price moves up. SUI has been analyzed. SUI was done starting 1 hour, 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the live stream. But yeah, I don't know. So locally, I don't really. What time frame are you looking? I need a time frame, because on the monthly, it doesn't really make sense to pull any fibs from the lows and look for retracements. It's more about structures and time. That's interesting, right? This is just a very quick look, but if you would count like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5 as a bare minimum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. That's most bearish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But yeah, I guys, I need a time frame. If we can't get this, if I can't know the time frame and what we're looking for in less than a minute, I continue, because I'm at the right place. So I'll just say, like, whatever people are looking at, I would not pull fibs from the lows to the highs. And locally, there is no shallow retracement, deep retracement. There's no, like, I don't know if you want to count 1, 2 up here, but this is a deep 2. I have no idea what the question is. Yeah, I'm at 2001, and the previous chart I was at, I couldn't go far enough. So just send me a picture on Discord. I don't want to waste time doing this stuff. Just if you have a question about other markets, send me on Discord. Let's not do this. You know, it's frustrating. Okay, let's just continue with where we were. If anyone has questions, just get me on Discord. Okay, let's continue with where we left off and actually get to what we wanted to do on Sunday, which is alts. Link is, what's the time? 1:40:00. Okay, so what do we have here? Yeah, so Link is at a similar stage as Dogecoin as well as ADA, is this resistance, right? You got to pass this. You wanna hit 14 and then flip this to support. The bullish scenario is of course very clear. Bearish. Okay, doesn't matter. Your bullish scenario on Link is a 5-wave impulsive structure, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, with a corrective structure to the downside, either a double zigzag that is finished, or still the potential for a double or triple zigzag, as long as you don't actually change W, X, Y, X, Z. You gotta move all the way up here, but that's a bit far, 19. We want to be in the market earlier than that. But what we need is, of course, local bullish structures on the lower time frames. Now, we do have some support still to the downside. Point of control at 719, currently at support. This is your big resistance, though, as we can actually clearly see as well. So support, support, resistance, resistance. Also in the past, it was support. It was support. We hovered a lot of time here as well. It was shortly a bit of support, bit of resistance, bit of support. Like, we spent so much time at this level here, around like 12 to 14. So that's an important level on the chart, which pretty much gives you the lower half and then the upper half. No? So yeah, want to pass this, flip, change the structure above, which means this, and then change it. No? Resistance up 27 to 32. And the reason the probabilities are higher on Link to still look for price to take out the high is because of the structure to the downside. So here you have price moving down, highest amount of volume in the low, in the local move to the downside. Very 3-wavy. If this was impulsive, we want to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But your 4 went too high. So this then becomes a 3-waver, 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 potentially corrective, impulsive. Doesn't really matter. It's just that this has a higher probability of being corrective. So the probabilities are higher to take out the high on Link. Right, so that is long term on a weekly time frame. That's going to be what one is looking for on Link. Locally here, sure, this is like almost a 1-to-1 copy of Cardano. 3 correction, 3 correction. Not as deep of a correction compared to Cardano. A, B, C. Maybe grab the low. It's the same as Bitcoin, A, B, but this is very 3-wavy. Yeah, da 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 da. Double zigzag. W 1, 2, 3. You would then be looking for a diagonal here. Three is shorter than 1. That's good. Your invalidation is pretty much the low for a contracting diagonal. Same as, I mean, arguably it's even almost the same as Bitcoin, all the 3-wavy moves here. Yeah. Can this be impulsive? Yeah, you can still get some sort of a diagonal, but you need to take the high once more. So take out 13. And we are still at resistance here as well. So you want to see this flip, no? So take out the high. And then you want to take it out again. That's your sign for potential 3. At the moment, this is also... It's probabilities are higher to take out the high, yes. Because probabilities are higher that this is corrective, yes. Locally though, am I confident that oh yeah, low is in and we go up? No, we are below important resistance and we have very three-wavy structures to the upside locally. So I would need to see this flipped. You know, better be patient, safe than sorry. Yeah, the point of control support 719 is still in the common target area for a 2 as well. So you can still get even a triple zigzag. So you get like a W, X, Y, X, and then another move down in a Z. Of course, if Link would go down another 30%, one would have to think that Bitcoin Bitcoin also needs to move down. If this is a diagonal, you're looking maybe for a deeper 2 back into the 50s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correction. Not too sure if Bitcoin needs to take the low for Link to go that deep. But yeah, it's just probability is higher to take the high. Yeah. Probability is higher this move down is corrective. Yeah. Am I confident this local price action is bullish? No. I would need to see more proof. I'm happy to enter later. I trade Bitcoin, by the way. I don't actually trade alts. But from my trading mindset perspective, I'm happy to enter later when I have more confirmation instead of just messing around with unclear, messy price action. Yeah. So this was the low. So this is then your 1. Now, interesting here as well is, of course, we had the highest amount of volume in the high. like what the fuck? This is higher probability for corrective structures to have the highest volume in a high. So unless this is like A, B, C, D, E finished, but it all started quite weird. But then here, I'm not interested in entering. This is a 3-wavy move down. Potential for an impulse, 1, 2, 3, and then looking for 4, 5. But we never got that. We moved up, touched the 618, taken from the high to the low, the Fibonacci. Right? Increasing the probabilities. This is a 3-wave structure, which automatically increases probabilities to take the high or bare minimum sideways price action. And if you do go sideways and eventually the probabilities, probabilities turn again to, okay, you know, we're looking for down, you can get out at almost break even. Because the moment you hit the 618 here, so this is, I'm just trying to explain how I would trade this, no? From an Elliott wave point of view. So this move up as a wave 1 is quite shit because you have this highest volume in your 5 on this chart here at least, no? This has to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5 doesn't really work. 1, 2, you know, you need like 3, 4, and this needs to be a 5 or 1, 2, 3, 4 extended 5. No, then we have overlap. So it's an ugly move, no? But what's more interesting, so from a trading perspective, I wouldn't initially label this as, yo, this is a 1. I wouldn't be interested in longing anywhere here, right? What I would be interested in is the moment price hits the 618 here and we cancel out a 5-wave impulsive move down because we didn't take this low, right? This is my sign. Okay, higher probabilities. This is a 3-wave structure. Probabilities are higher to take out the high. As a bare minimum, we continue this range for a longer period, and then at a later stage, I can get out if probabilities would change, right? Because they are going to be looking for a W, X, Y, right? Which is still, by the way, a ranging structure. You would need a triangle A, B, C, D, E, or whatever. But yeah, probability is higher to take the high. So the moment that happens, I'm looking up. Now price up, 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 up. Another 3-wave structure to the downside here. Again, a 618 touched, increasing probabilities to take this high, and then entries would be made here. right? So you have more clarity. That's how I would approach trading this locally, right? So the 618 plays an important role. At the moment here, we also have very ugly price action to the upside. 3, you know, is this giving great confidence? So what, in other words, what I like to see here, right, actually would be an 886 touch. That would be ideal, because this surely looks like an impulsive structure to the downside. 1 2 1 2 3 4 5. Oh, sorry. 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. Did we have a second leg down? Well, this one. But is this A, B, and is this your C in that case? It's a very small C, so there's definitely the opportunity to have a bigger like partner leg to come still at a later stage, with all of this being corrective. That's still something in my mind. Now, if price, so in other words, there's the potential for this to be impulsive and price to take the lows. Now, if price hits the 886, right, that's the moment where, for me, immediately probabilities increase to take out this high. It doesn't have to happen directly, but we know the 886 on this channel. Higher probability that this is corrective instead of this being a wave 1, 2 hits the 886 and then 3 down, which is very rare for a wave 2 to hit the 886. Probabilities are on your side to look for the high to be taken. Now, the 886 generally is not an entry level because it is so high to what you're looking for, right? The 886, well, if one enters at the 886, this is your target where you're going to put the stop. So then after an 886 is touched, that is when I start looking for an entry and a long to take out the high. And then I look for a more local entry. So I look at the more local structures. That's how I would approach trading this thing here, at least to the upside, no? Because the higher time frame probabilities are higher to still take out the high, because the move down has a higher probability of being corrective. So my initial bias, even though of course we can take out the low, hit the point of control down here, yeah, is that a great trade? Yeah, sure. I mean, it would be fun. Oh, look, you know, I traded short and we hit point of control, but it would be against the weekly probabilities from an Elliott wave point of view. So I'm not comfortable, you know, doing that at that moment. Have a good lunch, maybe a band-aid. So yeah, AVAX. Wait, let me actually refresh here. I see what happened there. Okay, so first we have near, and then we do AVAX. Near popped up. Yo, Alex, how you doing? I see. Yo, what's up? Husband, Daddy Otter is in the chat. Everyone make sure to check out Alex. He streams as well. Great guy from the other side of the world, from Canada. Doesn't do Elliott waves per se. I mean, sometimes he chats about it. Almost reaching the 4K subscribers. How many people are we here? 110. So if everyone subs, he's at 4K. Guys, I want to see a 4 here. I want to see a 4 here before we end the stream, minimum. Okay, I'm going to refresh. So Alex, great guy from Canada, streams as well. And he uses a lot of different tools. And I could say that Alex is probably my first like online crypto friend. Because yeah, I mean, we have never seen each other. Or content creator friend. Because of course in crypto I've more friends, but the first content creator guy friend. So yeah, I tend to hang out in his live streams, not always chatting, sometimes just enjoying having Alex on the background. But yeah, check it out if you find it interesting. He's just a very chill guy. He's not like you know, the like moon boy type of mindset. Very calm, very collected. Great trader, lives from trading as well, and recently got a kid, and this year he married as well. So how about that, guys? It's still on 3. I'm gonna check that later. Yo, cheers, Alex. Cheers, man. Thanks for the 20 Canadian dollars. I think that's the first time, actually, Canadian dollars in the stream. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate it, man. Do that here. Jeffrey, welcome. Probably there's a couple of more people here from the Otter gang, I would think. Generally, during live streams, there's a couple of Otters joining in almost all of my live streams, actually. Quick refresh. Still on 3. I'm gonna keep an eye on it now. Okay, so on near. Let me check the time. How long are we live for now? Almost 2 hours. 157. Yeah. He's a great guy, full-time trader. He's a dad. He's a husband, both since this year. Very calm, collected. Uses many other tools. So, you know, if you want to learn more about other things, then you can check him out as well. Okay. So, nice one, BBO. Otter here. Ty Fox, Jeffrey. Nice guy. Let's see if... keeping an eye. 805 videos, by the way. Jeez. Okay, so on near, we hit support being the point of control, and on near, we have our support resistance area here. Moved above, retest. It's not very successful, is it? So what we're looking for is above, retest, change structure. No? So now we dip down below again. Areas of support below is 285, 217, 70, and then 235, 222. Now with regards to Elliott waves on near, your bearish scenario, it has to be an impulsive move down. So just like with Link, for example, or actually what I explained on Link, is if the probabilities are higher that this is corrective, you're going to be looking up. So you want to look for longs locally, no? Now, if this is very bearish, it needs to be an impulsive move to the downside. But an impulsive move would then be a 5-wave impulsive structure. And locally, this being a 5-wave impulsive structure, then has to be counted as a multi-1-2, which is what you see here on the chart. Now, even a multi-1-2 has a few problems here. So let me explain, but then first with everything off. Because if this is your high and you look for very bearish price action, impulsive price action, in other words, very deep retracements, taking the low, those type of corrective structures, like deep moves down, you need an impulse, a diagonal, or a multi-1-2. Now, an impulse here is very difficult because you need a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 and 1 are not allowed to overlap, but there's lots of overlap here, which then leads us to diagonals or multi-1-2s. Now, in a diagonal, you don't have your 1, 2, we need 3, 4, we still need one more low and a 5. Alternatively, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, by the way. But in this case, this A, B, C. So every move is then 3-wave. 3, this has to be 3, 3, 3, and then this also a 3. It's just that this would be a very short C for then A, B, C. It's not high probabilities. It looks better than as 5, 3, and then a 5. But anyway, doesn't really matter. We can just check it. 1, 2. 1, 3. So channel works. That's no problem. Your wave 3 is longer than your wave 5. So wave 5, in other words, is shorter than 3. Your wave 3, come on. Your wave 3 is longer than your wave 1. It's less common. But everything needs to be 3, 3, 3, 3. So it's, I don't know, it's not looking good. What I would prefer to see for bears is take this low once again, really. Did you get the car? I forgot which ones we were talking about, so I guess the answer would be no. I forgot what we were... I remember the car that you have now, like the big car, also because of family. But I forgot what I was talking about, actually. So this being a diagonal would be your bearish count. Oh, wait, that one. So I mean, we had a car to Monza for the Formula 1 Grand Prix, pleasure docs, and that was a BMW X, the SUV. Oh, that was sick. It was cool. It was very nice. But it's not a great car for road tripping, to be honest. Very stiff. It's more like I mean, it's a sports model, so kind of as expected. But it was fun pushing it. We also went to Monaco with the BMW X as well. Yeah, it's a fun car, but it's not great for long distance. Even though it's a big SUV, it's more something that one would use locally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So an impulse to the downside doesn't work. Then we have a diagonal or a multi 1-2. Now the multi 1-2 is lower probabilities as well, twofold. One, wave C is very long in a wave 2 here. This has to be a flat. B is very low. C is very long, so it doesn't look great at all. And if this is another 1-2, then of course, 2 is getting quite long as well. Just finished before the 3, but this again looks 3 wavy to the downside locally here at the moment. So arguably your actually most bearish scenario would be a diagonal. I mean, it definitely works. But I just wonder for a second, why did I not have this on the chart earlier? I have a feeling it's because of this. Because that has to be a C. In this scenario, you look for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And alternatively, your 3 goes here and 5 is still coming. The 886 for a wave 2 in a diagonal happens more often in a diagonal than a normal impulse, at least. But I'm not happy with 3. Oh. Now the reason I only have counts here is because on near this move up is a very ugly move to the upside, mainly thanks to the range here in the middle and a very messy start. So it makes a lot more sense to focus on local price action. But can we distinguish on near between the bulls and the bears? The problem I just have with this wave 3 is your 3 has to be a 3-wave structure. However, it did not even come close to the common target. It didn't even hit the rare target, which is the 618. The reason wave 3 it needs to be a 3-waver is because of your 1. So you want 3 to be the same. Wave 5, internally wave 5 here can have a 3-wave move, A, B, and then you have your wave C. That's fine. It's just your wave 3 is the problem. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, or 2, 4. That's what's in my head. So I'm not WX or a double zigzag. Anyway. Doesn't matter. This is your bearish, your most bearish scenario, and then you look for this. Almost hit the golden pocket. It's actually quite rare for price to get close to the golden pocket but not hit the golden pocket. But as long as we don't actually take out that high, we can at least say the 05 is hit, which is a minimum target for wave 2 in the common target area. Common target area for a 2 also is perfectly fine for a B. That's quite nice. Almost a 1-to-1 hit for wave Y. Even though a WXYXZ is a very rare corrective structure. So in other words, if you take out this low, probabilities arguably are higher for a diagonal than a WXYXZ. You're bullish in a bullish scenario, you preferably have a finished WXY and you start reversing because a WXYXZ is very rare. It is, of course, also here again very three-wavy structures to the upside. No, I mean we can all see the chart. Very ugly, very, very ugly. So what can we do here? How can we impact probabilities? So also near is for me in an absolutely no trade zone. So as we go through the alts, you will see that some alts are very clear, like, okay, you know, probabilities are higher for X, probabilities higher for Y, easy. And then you have those alts that are very messy. This one has, of course, a potential bearish diagonal as well. If you would do this, yep. 571. I mean, if that's a diagonal, then what are we looking for, man? What are we looking for? This move up is, of course, is it ugly? Yeah, it's an ugly move up. Because you are then looking for A, B, C, but that's such a big corrective structure. If this is an impulse up, twice the length. We didn't hit the 05 yet on near. What a shitty chart. Why did so many people actually vote for near? What's good? What makes this so interesting? Because if I analyze this chart, as mentioned, some alts are incredibly clear, right? We've done Cardano, Solana, Doge, SUI, Link, and now we are here. Like, what makes this so interesting? Why did so many people vote for this? Like, this range needs to hold preferably. That's of course your structural support, because below here there's not much going on. Only support point of control at 230, but that's such a big drop from where you are now. I mean, that's a 50%. I mean, Bitcoin has to do crazy stuff for that to happen. If this is a finished impulse in a 1-2, common target is 05786, which we didn't touch. 382 is a less common target, uncommon, still a target, but uncommon for a window is open. That was a mosquito. So the 382 is a target for 2. It's just uncommon for 2. So you preferably see price moving down to the 05786 if this is a finished impulse. The problem here is this is a very ugly impulse. Compare this move up with the move up in SUI. SUI was a very clear move to the upside, very nice impulse, 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5, and then you have this mess, and then the move towards the downside now as well has the potential at least of being a diagonal. Now, I would like my feeling says that a bearish count here works better than a diagonal. This has to be 1 2 3 4 5. I know I'm not a big fan of counting this diagonal because of the 3 as mentioned. I would then prefer 1 2 3, have this as a 4 and then another 5 down. Then your 3 is quite a lot longer than your 1, which is not an invalidation, but it changes the impacts probabilities negatively. So I don't think there's any interesting thing to say about this near stuff here. 1 2, we have a this is a B C D. Oh, there's a potential actually here for a triangle. Move down, A B C D E, another leg down. That would increase probabilities to take the high. This, of course, at the moment is very much a three-way structure. Yeah, show me it's a three-way structure. You know, where's the volume? Okay, so the volume locally in the local downtrend is in the low. So yeah, 476. If price can retrace back to 476, probabilities are higher. This is a three-wave structure. Probabilities are higher to take the high. I would really only look at local price action on near. There's nothing to do on the daily, on the weekly. If price goes up to 476, probability is high. This is a three-waver. That's the moment where the probabilities increase to take out the high and then take it from there again. If we look at Bitcoin on the weekly time frame, probabilities are still higher to look for a wave 5 to the upside. So arguably, with that in mind, of course, you think about, can alts clearly move up? And near here, yeah, we can count a WXY, potential for another XZ, but that's very rare. But you also have the diagonal. So yeah, in other words, I would need more information here. I would trade local time frame stuff, and the only way I would go and think about longs is hitting 476. and then and if we hit 476, I'd be interested to look for a move up to take out the high at 590 and then take it from there again, and keep looking at more local time frame structures instead of the weekly. So near from the very beginning has never been a fan favorite. This move up was so ugly. I never analyzed this move to the upside. I never counted this. Doesn't make any sense. I always only look here. And at the moment with the diagonal, and man, I just look at local structure. I have no idea why this is so interesting, but wouldn't be top of my list, at least. That's for sure. Okay, let's go to AVAX. Rudy, how you doing, man? What's up, Rudy? Welcome. And little bit of yo, Duracell, can you guys sponsor me, please? No, I mean, I eat a lot, yeah, and I generally have a lot of energy just naturally. I don't drink coffee. I eat well, yes. So, but I guess it also comes with, if you like what you do, if you enjoy, like I really love Elliott Waves. I'm you know, this is what I love, to be live on stream, talk, chat, Elliott Waves. So yeah, it also gives me energy, I suppose. So good for me, good for you, of course, in that case, because it keeps me going. But how are you doing, Rudy? I mean, I know that you know, Rudy won COVID 0, right? Hopefully you're healthy and everything is going well there. In Thailand, no? Where were you? Where is my rectangle? There we go. Hit support, point of control. Basically point of control to point of control. There you go again. As on many alts, the support resistance area on the chart. That's where is this? You want to move above 33, so 34, move above, change the structure. Bullish scenario is a finished A or 1, and this move down, corrective in a wave 2 or B. So if we then zoom in, what's macro bear? Okay, that's an impulse down. So if we zoom into the daily, what we are looking for is this move to be corrective and not impulsive. Now, if we then have a look at the volume, this move down, highest amount of volume here in the low. So what we do is take a fib from the high to the low, and what do we see? Price here touched the 618. Now, if this would be an impulse, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and this would need 4, 5, 4, 5, invalidated because you hit the 618. So of course this now, or this needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The problem is that then the low of your 1 and the high of your 4 overlap. So then you have to think about diagonals, but your 5 is too long because 5 is longer than 3, which is not allowed in a diagonal. Contracting diagonal, which is the most common diagonal structure. Yeah, exactly. So overlap there. So that increases probabilities. There's a 3-wave move to the downside, not a 5-wave structure. Or you need a truncation, but that's very rare. You would need to have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 truncation in a bigger 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5. But that's not really relevant. So an impulse down, not great. 1, 2. Even if you would have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then you also again have overlap between 1 and 4. So you again need to think about a diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. let's check this. We only hit the 382. So in a more, your most common retracement target would be the 05786, which would be more interesting. One, two, three, four. Okay. Channel 1, 3. Wave 4 didn't hit the top of the channel, so that's good. However, wave 4 is larger in price than wave 2 is, not in time, but in price, vertical, which is not allowed. Wave 4 has to be smaller. So we can't count a diagonal here, and then you have a multi 1, 2, but then you need 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. And did we hit the 886 here? Yes, we did. So counting this as a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, low probabilities. 886 is very rare for a wave 2. So probabilities are higher. We have a corrective structure to the downside, where then we look for WXY with, again, the potential of a WXYXZ. But probabilities are higher. This is corrective, better than near at least. So therefore, the probabilities are higher to take out the high. Probabilities are higher to look for the bullish structure. Right. Now we do still have a value area low at 12, which of course is very low. We're now at 25, 50% dip. We hit the point of control. That's important support. The target box for 2 or B is still quite large, 886. You don't want to hit that. But the probabilities here are higher to take out this high. Support resistance area. This is the important area on the chart. And yeah, 33. You want to pass 33 and flip this box here between 31.4 and 33.5. Yeah, even if I extend it, by the way, you can see that it has played an important role on the chart. So, yeah, good one. Next up. Let me refresh here. Near did. Done. ETH. Ethereum. Where were we? You gotta love it. Yeah, I mean, I honestly, actually, probably Alex, you can, I guess, you'll probably have the same, is if you make content, if people, like, I think as a viewer, you very quickly realize if that person loves what he's doing and actually enjoys analyzing the chart, or if he just does it because it's his work, if you know what I mean. It's the work versus the passion type of thing, right? Like, can you see someone's really enjoying what he's doing and the process and the thinking and the analyzing and then the probabilities, or is it like more like a, I don't know, like almost like a down, like you watch a stream, you're like, yeah, I'm not sure about this, you know, like this guy. Is it work versus is it enjoyment? For me, this is, I enjoy analyzing the chart. I love the puzzle. Of course, some charts are very annoying to count. Some charts are enjoyable to count, but that's the game, and I love playing the game. You know, Elliott Waves for me it's just a game of probabilities. No, I really enjoy this. And also, I think if you make content, people see. Also in you know, every video you make, every stream you do, they'll probably get a feeling of what, you know, is the person really enjoying it, or is it just work? So we have oh, I gotta write this down. Timestamp for Ethereum. ETH. What's the time for me? 5:30 now. 226. Let me have a quick look. I got notifications. Okay. So, bearish triangle. There you have it again, eh? The horizontal support resistance. 1, 2. Okay, so let's start with the obvious. If you take a fib from the all-time high to the low we made in the bear market at 900, price touched the 886. And it is common after an 886 touch to retrace to the golden pocket. You will see this happen on many time frames, on many coins, including Bitcoin, where we talk about it most of the time. So we have the 886 retraced to the golden pocket. Now, the fact that the 886 is touched increases the probabilities to take all-time highs. So the bias on Ethereum is up. It's for price to take out the all-time high. Even locally, if you take a fib from the local high here to this low, we also hit the 886. So it adds to the bias of still looking for this high to be taken, which then increases probabilities for that high to be taken. So Ethereum probabilities remain higher to look for price to move up in the longer term, right, on a high time frame. Now, there's a couple of scenarios we have here. This would be your first bullish scenario, because all of the scenarios are actually bullish, but this is then the first one, where you have a very ugly impulse, has to be said, in your 1 and then 2 and 3. The reason it is very ugly is mainly because of your 3. Now, in an impulsive structure, it is most common for your 3 to be very extended, high amount of volume, sharp, move to the upside, right? So you have your wave 1, your wave 2, and then you get your wave 3, which is like an acceleration, and then you get your wave 4, slowing things down, 1 up in 5, and then you get your move down. But this acceleration is missing here, right? So it's a very ugly move up. You can see your wave 1 and your wave 5 are arguably a lot steeper. Your wave 3 is almost a sideways structure, no? The only reason it works is because it follows the rules, right? Because wave 1 and wave 4 do not overlap. Wave 1 and wave 4 does not overlap. Time is only time is never an invalidation or a confirmation. It just impacts probabilities. Your wave 4 is incredibly long compared to your wave 2 in time. So it lowers the probabilities, but it's not an invalidation. No. Now, in this case, though, your common target would be the 05786, which is 1900 to 1200. The 382 is an uncommon target for 2 at 2.2k, which we have hit and found support at the moment. And preferably, if this is a wave 2, looking for a 1-2 up, you want to end after the 382 fib time at the 11th of November. Let me actually put a vertical line here. So there you go, the 11th of November. You want this wave 2 to end after the 382, which then is after November, and then eventually you wanna move up. Going to play some golf. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, thanks for popping in, Alex. Thanks for being here. Enjoy your day, man. Golf. That's not. I played golf once. I played mini golf a lot, but golf once in the States. First time. I like golf. Gotta say, I liked it. It's in nature. I like to be out and about. I love being outdoors. Okay, so the second scenario I want to talk about. So in other words, right, you look for a retracement and then a move back towards the upside. And when we look at support to the downside in this target area, we hit the monthly and the weekly and the 382, right, over here. And then down here we have at the 05 support, 1900 to 1800, and then down here 1650 to 1540. and then again 1200. So lose box 1, go to box 2, lose this, and then 1200 is basically what to look for. So that's your first scenario. Your second scenario here is a triangle. Now if this is a triangle, right, you're looking for this to be a wave 4. Wait, what's this doing here? Oh, right, it's the selection. Yeah, so let me put this down further up. So in this case, you're then looking for a triangle in a 4, because a triangle cannot exist in a wave 2. Has to be a 4. So in that case, you would then need to count this as a 4 on a very high time frame. A, B, C, D, E, W, X, Y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be bearish. A, B, C. Oh, yeah. So of course this is a very bullish count, what you see on my chart now. I was looking for it because I reminded myself I had this somewhere on my chart. I just had to look for it shortly. Oopsie. Messing around here. Jeez. There we go. So we then have our 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and our 5. The big retracement, potentially double 1. It doesn't matter. And then here, 1, 2, 3, triangle in your 4, and then your wave 5. So that is where the triangle comes from. And then you have your 4 at E. So that is the high time frame of what you see on the chart here, being the triangle. Now also in this case, you then have your A, B, C, D, E, and then you move up, which in other words continues the range. And your wave C has to be a zigzag family structure, which in this case, let me have a look. Did we take the low? Yes. So you would count A, B, C, W, X, and then you need a Y actually. One more low. And then your most bearish scenario. But I can actually just remove C, is not relevant here. W, X, Y, where your W zigzag, X, W, X, Y double zigzag. And then in wave Y, you're either looking for a flat or a triangle. Now, at the moment, this does not look like a triangle, so you would need to look for a flat, but that would mean taking the high. So all of the scenarios are basically looking for price to take out the high. If we then zoom in, what's happening here? High volume in the low. So we know that price here hit the 886, increasing probabilities that all of this is corrective, increasing probabilities to take out this high still at a later stage. Now, of course, that is in line with a triangle, as you see D, E, and then you take out the high. WXY, take out the high. Bullish scenario takes out the high. Question is really, are you going to come down once more or not? But we hit the 886 here. Low to that high, 886, also to this high, hit the 886. So that's not really bullish. Very similar price action here compared to Bitcoin. Very three-wavy structure, very zigzag down, move to the downside. 1, 2, 3. The reason I zoom into the 4-hour time frame is because of this move and because of this move. And the reason for that is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Is there the potential of an impulse? Same here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because if those are counted as impulsive structures, you can also look for a multi 1, 2 here. Even though this 2 hits the 886, instead of a corrective move afterwards, you then have the potential of an impulsive structure. But I think I don't want to... Where's my horizontal box? There we go. So I know the support levels below. Probabilities are higher to still take out the high on Ethereum. Locally here, also probabilities are higher. This move down is corrective. Do we really want to count this in detail? Actually not. not really. A, B, and then a C. Can this be a flat? No. 1, 2. Like on low time frame. 1, 2, 3, 4. This also looks corrective. Corrective is a W, X, Y-ish. Can we finish it here? If so, then we have this, and then that's a zigzag. 1, 2, 3. Can we have 4, 5? Overlap between 1 and 4. So then you need to think about diagonals being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But 1 itself is a diagonal. You can have a diagonal in a diagonal, but it's not common. So it does look better as a 3. But just like on some other alts, this is not a very convincing start of an impulsive structure, right? You hit the 886, increasing probabilities to take the low, increases the probabilities that all of this is corrective until proven otherwise. I guess that's basically it. 886 is very rare for a wave 2. The only way you can end with an 886 would be then a wave Y, which means you need like a W, X, and then a wave Y. Triangle in a wave Y, so then you would need W, X, A, B, C, D, E, but now D took out this high over here. That's not allowed. W, or you have W, X, Y, but then your Y still has to start, and all of this price action is X, which makes it likely that Y is gonna go below your W. It's not a must, but higher probabilities for that to happen. So actually on ETH, this move so far here is, it's very ugly. Probabilities on the weekly are higher to take out the highs at a later stage, but on the daily, this structure here is not showing any bullish signs. 886 touch increases probabilities for corrective price action. There is the potential for impulsive structures here. If price changes market structure and takes out the low though, then that's out of the window as well. That would be bearish. So yeah, price would need to move up, flip this level. Again, important support resistance level on the chart. Give a bit more confidence that a significant low is actually made. Because for now, we're just below resistance and above support. This is trade the range until it breaks type of structure, no? So this is where the range then starts, because you break support, so expect a short here. And then you're back here, 886 start, long, short, long, short. But not great local price action. Depends on what type of trader you are. From a swing perspective, it's actually quite easy. If you go to the very low time frames, the 1 hour, there's undoubtedly longs and shorts to be had, just like on Bitcoin. When things are not 100% clear on a daily, you just go to the 1 hour and continue trading. Oh, this is the Bitstamp chart. Volume is not really relevant, but yeah, that's that on Ethereum, really. So ETH weekly time frame, higher probabilities to continue the trend, still looking for higher above all-time high. On a daily time frame, probability higher to take the low, price touch the 886 until proven otherwise, really. There's at least a potential for a multi 1-2 here. But then this final leg down, this has to be corrective, not impulsive. So this has to be corrective. Is this corrective or is this impulsive? This is a very long. Where's the volume? Volume. I need to go to another chart here. Okay, highest volume is in the low. That is more common for corrective structures unless it's a wave 3. But if this is a 3, then you need to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alternatively, 1, 2, 1, 2, and you go down, take out this low and start a 3. Changing market structure increases probabilities to be bullish, as then the probabilities increase. This is corrective, not impulsive. Which is 2.5k. What's up, Andrew? How are you doing? Welcome. Thanks for popping in. Not going to be online for that much longer, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correction. This looks 3 wavy, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's A, B, C, W, X, Y. Can we have one final move down? Oh, same as on Bitcoin. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Move down again. Create a double zigzag, WXY on Ethereum. And if you have a corrective structure to the downside, it increases, of course, probabilities to take the high again. So after a wave Y, so in other words, you want first, like, take out this high would be positive, 2, 5, 6, 4. Move down in Y, WX, and then a Y, and then reverse. And what you then do is you keep the 618 on the chart. Because if this is a bearish impulse, right, 1, 2, 1, 2, and you start a 3, the moment you start, you want to see volume increasing. The 618 is your invalidation for a wave 4. So the moment the 618 is touched, you're going to be looking for up again. But yeah, higher probabilities at the moment. This move down is corrective, also with the volume in the low, which does increase probabilities to take out this high. This 886 touch is bothersome, but doesn't really look like an impulse. Five, correction, 5. Correction 5. I mean, if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that would be more bearish because then you get this. Now you did not invalidate a wave 4. So your bullish scenario would be WXY, your bearish scenario is an impulse. But for an impulse, you want to see a bigger retracement. So if this is it and you go down now, probabilities increase for a WX and then a Y, and then get a move back up. Choop. What about ETH? This is ETH. It's a lower time frame of Ethereum. So yeah. Some alts are very clear, some are not, but ETH on the high time frame, weekly is very clear, it's easy. Daily time frame, you have this 886 here, which is shitty. So you preferably see ETH flip this support resistance level. 274, 290. But yeah, probability is higher on the weekly to take out the high. So long term is easy. Daily here, not too great. 1 hour time frame. The move down, right? If you take out this low before taking out this high, that's actually more bullish. Because then you can look for a WX 3-wave structure in a Y. If you move up here, there is the potential to count, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is your 3 the shortest? If this is 1, 2, then 3 is longer. Yeah, so 3 is longer than 1, so that's perfectly fine. There's the potential to count an impulse down, but then you want to see at least a retracement to 382 minimum, preferably 05786, which means taking out the high. So if you move up and take out the high, one has to be aware of a bigger structure down. Invalidation is taking this high, which is what we want to see anyway, because on a daily, I would only really like on a weekly time frame, I'm happy to like invest, right? Like DCA and that sort of stuff, that's no problem. But trading wise on the daily, I would only be comfortable if price actually moves up and retests here. And on a 1 hour time frame, I am more bullish if we take this low first before taking out the high, for the potential of your WX and then Y. Quick fib time. How long is this correction now? Almost 5 times longer, yo. Still fine for B. Does start to take quite long. 27th, 9 p.m. 28th, 6 a.m. Yeah, so in other words, if price makes another high tomorrow after 6 a.m. Central European time here, then the probabilities are higher that this, right, is a finish structure, instead of counting this as an A, B, C for a wave Y, because your B is too long. But yeah, that's low time frame shenanigans, which is, we don't do that really often during alt stream. So weekly time frame is clear. Stick with that. Okay, and I think that's where we, that's where we are on ETH. So yeah, we have clear support to the downside, but probabilities are higher to still look for all-time highs. I don't care if it moves down once more, take out the lows, hit some support, and then moves up. From a DCA perspective, ETH is super easy. Trading on the daily time frame, or weekly/daily, I want to see this flipped, right? Move up, like this is, that's interesting. And on the 1 hour, yeah, bit too low time frame really, but 535, we can clearly count a 535 here. The question is if this is your 4-5, then you have an impulse. So bearish would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but your 5 ends on the highest volume, not on my Bitstamp, but it does on Coinbase. So on Coinbase, this is your highest volume, which is very uncommon for a 5. It is more common for corrective structures. So that would increase probabilities for correction. But then I would like WXY instead of A, B, C. Bitcoin also looks better for another leg down. Really, not a big fan of. Let me. Bullish CVDs played out. That's nice. 3 WXY potential. Is this a flat? The problem is this structure. But yeah. Oh, whatever. If it's very similar to ETH, then I would guess the probabilities. I'm not going to analyze anything anymore. I'm cooked. I'm done. I don't know. This is NFP. I don't know NFP, so doesn't look like. Oh, here Binance. This can't be right. Is it? If so, then this is, you can't. Yeah, how do you analyze W? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bearish scenario, take out the low once more to create a diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bullish 3, 3. Yeah, this you can't do anything on these type of coins. You got to go to the lower time frames. 4 hour. Bit of volume in the low. If this is corrective, then we just invalidated a wave 4. Highest volume in the low. Maybe on more charts, but you want, if this is your highest volume candle on more charts, we just hit the 618, which invalidates a wave 4, increasing the probabilities that it's corrective, or you're going to look for multi 1-2s. If you change market structure, take that high, probability is higher to take that high. And then, yeah. And then that's that. It's time for me to go, guys. I'm done. It's been a long session. And some good alts, but most of the charts do require some more patience. Some charts are very easy, very clear on the high time frames, or very messy on the low time frames. Some other charts are very clear on the lower time frames, but absolutely shit on the higher time frames. So yeah, interesting altcoin session. So I personally think what is it? I think Solana is that's like an easy one. Link is also quite clear. Yeah. Anyway. Thanks everyone for being here. Time to go. Enjoy the rest of Sunday. Almost 3 hours. I'm cooked, man. So thanks for being here, and I will see you again next time.